Hello to everyone. Good evening to everyone, if be more precise to time. It's now 11 o'clock, the Wednesday, the next day from previous speaking practice video. If to be honest, I I didn't plan to record speaking practice video today. I wanted to do Oxford Practice Grammar book, but I feel that the speaking practice video now it's more suitable for the end of the day because I feel myself as usual tired and the learning grammar now wouldn't bring much result. On the other hand, speaking practice is more easier to easier in the meaning of start doing and has the same amount of profit as the grammar unit from Oxford Practice Grammar book. So I've decided today to invest my last energy or remain energy, if be correct, into speaking. Yes. And as I said, this is a very good type of practices that helps me a lot in my studying. Probably without further ado, I'm going to start answering the questions because I feel like even with warm up or without warm up, in either case, it wouldn't help me to speak better today because today I've been studying not only 3D animation but also did uh, training, physical training. So my mind is a bit exhausted and my body exhausted even more. That's why it's hard for me now to think about anything except rest. That's why this speaking practice video probably might be a little stiff in a manner of speaking. But I will try my best mm, because uh, because obviously I'm doing this for myself, for my own practice, and the better I will try, um, the more enhancing my skill will become. So it's all in my interest to try to do my best every speaking practice that I record. So let's start answering the questions. The question number one. Can you describe a moment when your opinion about something important changed over time? What made you rethink it? Can you describe a moment when your opinion about something important changed over time? What made you rethink it? Mm, a lot of cases, actually. A lot of time I've changed my opinion. A lot of time I've been rethinking my opinion, reconsidering it. But it's a very private cases and very private topics to discuss even if I'm my only one follower. I mean, this is a content for myself, but still, this is a public content, and that's why I don't want to answer on this question deeply because these things are not for public. Yes, I can say that in my past or even in my recent past, I've been rethinking and I rethought all my previous period of life until the current point. And I've made a lot of conclusions from it. I've changed a lot of points of view. I've changed my outlook on many things completely. I accepted my mistake. I even feel shame for the things that I've done in my past. It wasn't it weren't they weren't drastic things. I mean, nothing criminal, of course, but it still it's still, and it was in it, and it's still, and they were unpleasant things that I'm not gonna repeat in my life, never again. At least I will do everything is possible in my life. I will pay as much effort as I can in order to do the right things and not repeat my past mistakes. And that is my answer on this question. I really don't wanna to elaborate further. But the general conception, I think you understood that we all do mistakes, and if we are want to consider us wise and want to consider us um, humans, at least humans with values and versity, but not versity. Vigor is about health, but uh, not versity for sure. I forget this word. Virtue. Yes. Virtue. Yes. Correct.
Virtue.
Virtue. If you want to consider us uh, if you want to consider yourself a person of virtue, so you need to work on your mistakes. You need to accept shame, and you need to accept that you've done some things wrong. And now this is your chance to take different actions, take the opposite actions, take the right actions for your life and for the people that might be around you. That is my answer. Next question. Do you think having too much information makes it harder to make decisions? Why or why not? Um, yes, I can say that it makes decision making harder. But obvious things that the the much information you have, the more the more wider outlook you have on the situation. Therefore, you can judge and make the decision more precisely and more even righteously, I could say. It's like, for instance, we can take the judgment in the court. The better, take the judgment in the court. Uh, um, mm, Sorry, a little brain lag. The more the judge will know about the case, the more righteous and right decision they would make. That's how it works. And this works not only in law practice. It works about every choice. It works about every choice, about every decision. So my answer is having too much information makes decision harder, of course, because you need to analyze more factors and more circumstances and more outcomes and possibilities. Of course, it makes decision making harder because it adds more factors, more things to it to think about, to consider. But it only affects your decision in a positive manner because the more, as I said, the more information you have, the better you can understand and the better you can analyze and decide what you need to do. So, this is my answer. The next question. If you could keep only three personal values that guide your life, which ones would you choose and why? Oh, very good, very interesting question because it requires to think about it a little before answering. If I could keep only three personal values that guide my life, um, let's say that the first value and the first virtue that I would keep to myself is kindness. Simple kindness to myself, to other people, to the world around. The second value that I will keep to myself is the ability to be strong in order to protect this kindness in myself. It's like you are not kind because you don't have any other choice. You kind because you're strong enough to be kind and gentle. Because this is your choice. You can protect this kindness. You can protect the good in this world. That's why the second trait would be strength, and not only physical strength, also mental strength, the power of the mind, the power of to adapt to the situations, the power to make difficult decisions. Just endurance and strength in general meaning about everything, not only about body strength or physical strength. And the third one would be mm, very difficult to choose the third one. Mm, kindness, strength, already more than enough. But let's say that mm, hope, yes. Let's say not even hope, but let's say the noble hunger. Noble hunger in meaning the desire to learn and enhance as a human being, desire to become better as better and better, not better but more righteous in the whole meaning of life, improving. Yes, the desire to improve, the desire not to stuck on a one level of proficiency, on one level of outlook on the world, the desire to study, grow, and enhance gradually during the whole period of life. That's three threats that I would like to keep if I if I would shoot if I would need to choose. 4. Some people say that routine gives stability, while others believe it limits creativity. What is your view? Um, Very interesting question. I don't think that routine limits creativity. Routine actually created for giving you the opportunity to create in absolutely predictable circumstances. What I mean, when you stable, when you know what to expect, when you reduce the risks and disturbance factors at minimum, you free a lot of space in your mind. You free a lot of capability to do something because you just withdraw it from analyzing things that disturbs you, and you can put all this energy exactly in creating something or studying something. And that's why a routine only helps. It makes your life predictable. So and it makes your life predictable as much as it frees all this mental energy that would use it to use on calculating unpredictable factors in your life. And you can invest this energy in creativity. That's how it works in my case, for example. Without routine, I couldn't even imagine how I would do so creative jobs that requires a lot of focus and thinking about details like animation. And I couldn't even imagine how I would concentrate on studying languages if I wouldn't be implying a studying routine in everyday practice in order to make a habit from it. So for me, the answer on this question is hidden or implied into into the question. Routine gives stability, and stability gives more freedom to creativity. And that is my answer. How do you feel about the idea that true success is measured not by achievement but by inner peace? Um, I don't know. I don't know what to answer on this question because the term of success is absolutely discussable. 1 minute, I forget the word. The word that I say for myself many times. Ambiguous, probably. Yes, ambiguous. Not, yes, ambiguous. Correct. Uh, the term of success is very ambiguous. Everyone sees a different outcome of success and sees a different depiction of success. And that's why I simply can't judge on this topic because it's too ambiguous and too variable and changeable depending on the person outlook. But in my but I can express my point of view. It would have a point and would have a meaning. And my point of view is that success it's when you achieve the life that you love to live. What do I mean by that? When you, in my case, it's when you are in comfort, when you protect it, when you feel yourself okay, when you can connect to other people without unresolved inner conflicts, when you are just a human being who develops and try to bring something to this world by your own art. Better if it's good things, of course. This is my measurement of success. When you protect it, when you protect it, when you financially secured, when you comfortable, and when you feel that, in general, yes. Forget that I've been saying before about financial security. Let's not define it so strictly. Let's say that if the person love to live the life that they live, this is success in my perspective. If you knew in advance that a major life decision would fail, would you still choose to experience it for the lessons it could teach you? Uh, Again, I really don't know. I really don't know because at first it's impossible to imagine. Yes, that you can know the future. For example, it's something about fantasy and science fiction. I really prefer more grounded, more real way to experience the life and to think about the life and the decision. So for me, I don't even want to answer on this question, surely. Um, because you can't judge. You can't judge, you can't see the all future outcomes that one decision might bring to you. I can only say that from my experience, the bad things that happened in my life, I feel like were meant to teach me what is right and what is wrong. and how to and why it's important to work and why it's important to try to be a better person than I used to, or at least not about better person, but about why it's important to keep values, keep right values, and try to become a person of true virtue.
Vir- Virtue.
Virtue. The person of a true virtue. This is important for me because I have a little naive outlook on this thing of goodness. I mean, the better, the more, or the more positive things you give to this life, the more positive things this life gives back to you. That's how I see it. The more better you try to become, the more better your life will try to be for you. Or not. I don't know. You know, life is absolutely unpredictable. Bad things might happen, even to the even to the mm, most virtuous person in the world. This is life. This is how it works. But it's better to try than don't try at all. If In what ways do friendship change as people grow older? In what ways do friendship change? In what ways do friendships change as people grow older? In different ways. It might be ceased at all because of lack of connection or alignment in ideas and outlooks on the world. It might be It might be not. It might be continued until the adulthood, until the elder days in life. It might be, yes. It all depends on the different situations, different people, and different type of connections. In my case, friendship on pause right now, at least all friendship, because it's not growing. It's not shifting to the friendship as I would like to see it in my life. So that's why I put it on pause right now until the other people also will decide that we also want to shape it to the new form, more alignment form with my form. A little bit confusing explanation, but I think the point of view is absolutely understandable. Just on pause. That's how my friendship of old changed as we grow, as we grew. The next question. Do you think people today listen to others just to reply or to truly understand why? It's not about today or all days. It's about human nature and being a human in general. There is different type of people. Someone listen to you because they are really interested. Someone listen to you because they respect you and they also want it. And they also want to be listened when the time will come. I don't know. There is a lot of different approaches, different people. Someone don't listen to you at all. Someone disrespects you. Someone only listen to you in order to spot spot weak points and understand how to use information against you. There is different types of people and different approaches to talking, different goals in different talks, different goals in different dialogues. Yes. So it all depends on the human, I think. Oh, and nowadays or all days doesn't have any effect on it. This is just the way how humans interact with each other. In my case, I could say that I'm really keen on truly understand the people when they talk. I'm not very, I don't, yes, I'm not even very interested in what person talking if I'm looking for building genuine connection. I'm more interested in understanding and revealing the person true character during this talk because it will determine could I trust this person and how much I can tell and how much I can open to this person. And this is my point of view on this question. The next one. If you had the chance to design a perfect learning environment, what would it include and exclude? The perfect learning environment, I think, varies according various of the subject of the specific specific how could I forget this word? Specific age of the studying group. It depends. It de- it yes depends on the subject and depends also depends on the format of learning. Is it lection or tutor or um, private lessons? Yes, it's very huge. It's very unprecise question to answer because there is a lot of factors and things that need to be included in order to answer properly, or at least more directly. So I think I already gave the general answer. It all depends on, actually. But let's imagine that we are talking about some. Mm, let's imagine that we talk about not imaginable, but theoretically. Let's imagine that we talk about theoretically in general. In general, I would exclude everything that makes environment toxic during the studying. The pupil needs to, in any case, in any situation, pupil, student, needs to feel comfort and peace in order to put all attention to the subject. Yes. So at first I would exclude toxic environment. And I would include a lot of teacher professionalism. I mean, if the teacher are really keen on the subject, I really know the subject, and I really know the best methods to teach this subject, even if you are not very keen on the lesson, on the subject itself, the person will provide to you so much engaging, so it simply will grab your attention and stick it to the subject. Even if you are not very interested at the beginning, um, it will kindle interest in you according to the professionalism and abilities of the teacher, and that which I in and that what I really would like to include. The next question and the last question for this speaking practice. Is it always necessary to understand the reason behind your emotions, or is it sometimes enough just to feel them? Um, Sometimes enough just to feel, sometimes enough just to trust your feelings. But sometimes, if emotions repeat itself and you really want to understand what caused these types of emotions and why it's always brings up to your life, especially if it's some negative emotion that hinder you. You should understand what the reason of appearing of this emotion in your head. And when you understand the reason, you can remove the stress factor, or how to call it. I'll also forget the factors that urge this emotion to reveal itself or to bump up. You reduce this stress factor, you reduce this initiating factor, and after that your emotions calms, and after a time you express it less and less. It's actually very important for psychotherapy or for better understanding ourselves. But if you already feel yourself okay, there is no actual need to understand every your emotion. It's just more than enough to simply trust them, trust your emotions, and not always move according to them. Always try to move more intellectually than just simply by emotions. But if something really bothering you, it's necessary to understand why is that in order to resolve this inner conflict. That is my approach. Mm, and what else? I think this is all for today. Let's check how long I've been talking. I've been talking for 31 minutes. Okay, it was good. Or it wasn't very good. I think it was moderate, like my usual performance on the speaking practice. However, I feel that yesterday I got better results in speaking. It's been a little bit harder, and I felt that I very often mispronounce the words, mispronounce the sounds and words, and that affects my pronunciation not in a very not in a very good way. Yes, and I felt like I repeated some filler words too much. Overall, I think today's speaking practice wasn't about enhancing the quality of speaking. It just was more about repeating the speaking skill, just in order to talk. Yes, just in order to talk. And as if you remember, in the previous speaking practice videos, I said that I need to change this approach because I used to talk English just in order to talk, but now I want to talk English. But now I don't want just to talk English. I want to express the points, answer the question, and explain my ideas in English. I want to convert speaking for the sake of speaking in speaking for the sake of communicating. That's a huge step forward that's sometimes difficult to get, but I really want to. I really want to make this step, and that's why in the next speaking practice video, I will approach it in a more fresh state of mind, and I will try to mostly communicate the ideas and not concentrate my attention a lot on repeating or pronunciation. Just try to keep at least understandable accent, understandable sound spelling, and translate the ideas mainly. So, I think it's all for today. I really want to rest. I really want to just lay on the bed and start reading Harry Potter, or even go to sleep right away. I haven't decided yet. But for the speaking practice for today, I'm sure that it's time to say Thank you for watching. See you in the next practice. See you in the next speaking practice video. And thanks for today. Goodbye. See you.